Okay. All right. Welcome. Um, Today, we're going to be talking about uh, how to avoid scammers, in those marriage sites, dating sites. Of course, for some people, they don't date, but uh, even when it comes to marriage sites, you'll find these problems. Okay. And of course, I recommend that people seek out marriage, because dating, you know, uh, it causes a lot of harm to a lot of people. Um, it leads to, children out of wedlock. But, I'm not going to get into all those personal morals, but you'll benefit from this. Whether you're on a dating site or you're on a marriage site, you'll benefit from this information. How to avoid scammers. This is the issue. How to avoid scammers. All right. Scammers have, certain attributes that once you hear them, it'll be, a warning light, a warning sign. Okay. So pay attention to these. Okay. And I'm quite sure for those who have been on marriage sites or dating sites, they've heard some of these. But if you hear any one of these, you need to beware. Okay. Now, of course, the first thing, their objective is to get money. you know all right, so obviously that will be the first thing you need to be careful about, that they maybe just trying to get money out of you. So you may think that you're in love. So people play with hearts. One of the most dangerous tools that, or toys, I'll say, that things that people treat as toys, I say, is the heart. People play with the hearts of people, and they use that to get money. So if a man saw a beautiful picture of a woman and it's like that is his dream woman that he always wanted to be with or marry, whatever, so your brain doesn't seem to work as well once you're emotionally attached, or to a picture or someone. So, all right, so let's get into the details. Okay, what to beware of. Okay. All right. All right, now there are some things that are, once you hear them, you need to run away from the situation, get away from it, close the door immediately. All right. Because it could be possible that maybe you really found someone, and uh, so you feel comfortable sending them money, but they have to go through a lot of things in order to reach that point. You shouldn't just do that right away. And of course, most people recommend that you never send money. Okay. um, of course, once you're able to confirm the identity of the person and the validity, whether it's that you traveled there and you met them and met the family, whatever the situation may be, then of course, at that point, you may definitely feel like they're not a scam artist. So I'm not going to be dealing with, you know, um, whether, I'm overall, we're talking about don't send money. Okay. Even if it's someone that is real and you're really interested in, then you need to take the serious steps that need to be taken to marry that person. So in most cases, the man will go to the country of the woman, meet the family, and proceed to get married at some point after that. All right. It's possible that a woman could come to the country that you're in, but that's where a lot of the problems perhaps will start, because she'll ask you to send the money for a ticket. All right. So if you decide to do that, then this is how you do it. You buy a ticket from where you're at, a non-refundable ticket, a one-way non-refundable ticket. And you tell them that they can go to the airport and pick it up, or to a travel agency, where they're at, and pick it up, whatever this, but make sure you don't send them money. You send them a one-way, non-refundable plane ticket. That's how you do it with that if she's going to come to where you're at. And if she's a scammer, then obviously she'll say, no, 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 just, send me the money and I'll get it from here, and she might even try to negotiate, because if you don't want to do that, then she'll say, if there's a problem with money, how much can you send me? Send me half of it. No, stupid games. But no, my recommendation is never send money, until you have actually met the person and met the family, and you now know that the person is a real person and they're not a scammer. Even then, problems could happen. But there's no reason to send money before you have actually met the person. But there are ways to try to reduce the possibility that they're a scammer. So let's go through these. Like I said, if it's a plane ticket, you send a one-way non-refundable plane ticket, and most likely they won't accept that if they're a scammer. In fact, they will not accept it if they're a scammer. Okay. So obviously the main thing is they're trying to get money. So they're trying many different tactics. Okay. Asking you to pay for a ticket, like I said. They'll say that something happened, some type of crisis, the electricity went off, or they're in the hospital, whatever situation may be. They're going to ask you to help them with that particular crisis situation that they're experiencing. Okay. They may ask you to pay for a mobile, to get them a mobile, and of course, they most likely they want the money for it, and they don't even want you to buy it and send it to them. But even then they could get it and sell it, so be aware of even that. All right. And also, one of the things that you should do, most likely they're going to send you photos at some point, whether it's on the marriage site or after you get their contact information through an email. So that's when you need to take that photo. This is a very important step to try to weed out the scammers. Take that photo and do a photo search, a Google image search, or any particular online search for that photo. And, most likely the photo will show up, but it depends on where you're actually searching, because sometimes they'll be using Russian websites in another language or something like that there. So maybe you may not be able to get to the site that they got the picture from, if you don't have a good search engine that can check in all languages and all over the world. But if you do a good search, you'll find, you're gonna, upload that photo and do a search on it, and you'll find that it came from a site somewhere. It could be a porno site or whatever. It could be from a fashion site. It could be a famous actor that you don't know from a different country. All right. But quite often you'll find, in many cases, you'll be able to find the photo online. So once you see that, it's a scammer, so you'll see, you didn't luck up and finally get a famous actor that wants to marry you, or a famous model that wants to marry you, or some porn star that wants to marry you. So, once you find a photo online, run away, close the door to that scammer. Okay. And another very, very important way to weed out them is just say, well, let's do a video chat. This is one of the best ways to get rid of them. This is one of the best ways to expose them. So you say, okay, we need to do a video chat, and whatever reason you say, maybe you might say, so you'll know that I'm a real person, so put it on you as opposed to them feeling like you're suspicious of them. I want to feel like I'm talking, you might even say, I like talking to a person face to face, so You might say, you know, so that you know that I'm a real person, because there are many scammers out here. So I want you to know that I'm not a scammer. So you put it on you, so they'll feel like, oh, okay. If they're a real person, they should want to know if you're a scammer or not. If they're a scammer, then they won't comply. All right. So, you know, that's one thing for sure. You will not, I would say 99% of the time, you will not find a scammer that will allow you to do a video chat with them. All right. Because, you know, most likely the picture that they sent you originally, they don't look like that picture. So a video would expose the fact that they already lied from the door. They already lied from the initial meeting by sending you photos that are not of them. So that would expose them as a liar right there and then, if they did a video chat. Okay. And also, you know, doing a video chat, you know, now you can actually, you know, listen to the person, know that they're a real person, you know, and so forth. So video chat is, I would say, the very best way to weed out the scammers. Okay. Now, there are some other things that they do too. You'll notice that they'll be saying that their father died. Now, they might say their father and their mother died, but most of the time it's their family, their father that died, and they're going to talk about, you know, they were an orphan or whatever. But they're, I found 9 times out of 10, you're going to hear that their father died. Okay, so that's another sign of a scammer when they say their father died. Maybe their father and their mother, but their father is never alive. I don't know why they do that, but their father is never alive. Okay. And the other type of scammers, they're going to say, you know, they have millions of dollars and they need to transfer it out of their country, and, you know, they want to invest it into your country and you get a share. You're going to hear that. Okay. So that's another type of scammer that works also online. So when you hear that, run away, close the door to that scammer. All right. Another type, they'll say that they're in the army. All right. Once you hear that someone is in the army and they're sending you messages, you know, beware as well. It doesn't mean a person can't really be in the army, but, you know, beware when someone says that they're in the army. Okay. Then another type of scammer, they'll tell you that they're using a paid translation program, not just a translation program. There are many free translation programs online. Why should they be using a paid translation program? And then they'll stop messaging you for a while and then come back again and say, well, you know, I had to pay for the translation program and I didn't have enough money. Can you please send me money, you know, so I can continue? Otherwise, I won't be able to message you again because I won't be able to use the translation program or whatever. All right. So this type of dumb stuff, you know, you'll hear that also. And then sometimes you'll find another sign is that you'll be asking questions and they won't answer all of them. Or the things that you say, the answer doesn't seem to correspond with what you said. Okay, so be aware of that too. All right, and then also, you know, if they're on WhatsApp, you'll notice, check the area code. You'll find that maybe they're using an area code that doesn't coincide with the place that they say they're from. You know, it may be an area code, a Nigerian area code. Unfortunately, Nigeria is very famous for being, you know, scammers. Unfortunately, I don't know why, but you know, unfortunately, you know, that's bad because there are probably some very good people in Nigeria, and then you're just going to assume that everyone from Nigeria is a scammer. All right. Also, you'll find constant, what they call them, refugee camps. You'll find, you know, people saying that they're in refugee camps, and you'll hear Turkey. Turkey is one of the famous places. They'll say they're in a refugee camp in Turkey, and so they, you know, they want to get out, and so in order to get out, they need to have a place that they're going, and so forth. So you hear that story too. So beware if you hear that story. All right. All right. So let's see. And another one is you'll hear every time there's a war-torn country, then you have some of them saying that they're from there, from a war-torn country, and their relatives or father died, and whatever. All right. So of course, now with what's going on with Russia and the Ukraine, this is a perfect time for people to be saying, for women to be saying that they're from the Ukraine, and they need to get out of there or whatever. So beware of that. And this is in 2022. For those who, if someone sees this video much later, years later, they'll know that this is a time when Russia was fighting with the Ukraine in 2022. And so you may hear people saying that they're from in the Ukraine and they need to get out and so forth. All right. All right. And then email. If they're sending you email, then there are programs where you can check to see where the email came from. You can check to see when they answered the email, when they looked at the email, and it would tell you where the email is coming from. Okay, so these are just some pointers to be aware of. All right, because I want to help those who are actually looking for wives, with these, marriage sites, and I want you to be aware of these things because I don't want you to fall into these traps. Of course, the best thing and the best advice would be to look for people in the country that you are in, or go to a country that you would like to get a wife from. All right. That's my advice to those who want to avoid the scammers, and of course, if you do meet someone in a marriage site, then again, also you need to go there to meet the family and so forth, to meet the fiance, the woman, and or to bring them to where you're at with a one-way non-refundable ticket. But it's better for the man to go where the woman is at, or to find a woman in the country that he is in. All right. So either go and look for a wife in the country that you would like to marry from, or to look for a wife in the country that you are in. That's my advice to you in order to avoid the scammers. But if you still choose to use the marriage sites, then beware of all of the points that I mentioned in order to protect you from harm, financial or otherwise, maybe even physically. Maybe someone will find a way to harm you physically as well. Beware. Okay, thanks for watching. And if you get benefited from this video, okay, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and to subscribe. Okay, and even if you saw some other videos, watch them as well, and give it a thumbs up. And, when you watch the other videos, give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and you'll get a notification. That's another benefit of subscribing. You get a notification when another video comes up online, when I upload another video. Okay, enjoy your day, and thanks for viewing.